be true.
These effects to the health of the human mind of the human health is with the intensity of a cell phone, of the intensity in the wave of a health phone, or is much higher, because normally the other side is saying no, but these health effects of electromagnetic wave, it's happening in a much higher level.
No. The top sort of scientists are today approximately 100,000 times below the public exposure standard. And even the European Union Parliament have said that the exposure standards are completely obsolete and do not protect for any radiation damage, not at all. And the the authority behind these exposure standards, the head of that, Professor Paolo Vecchia from Italy, he has said that they were never meant to be any medical protective standards. They cannot be used as a wall behind which industry could hide, and so on. He has completely said that you cannot use it. These are technical standards. There are no medical standards, there are no biological standards, and therefore we have urged for the introduction of such, and especially based on the genotoxic effect. And again, it's so simply solved by just using a hygienic safety standard. And I have then suggested to use the natural background, which we were born into and were developed into, and then suddenly overnight someone put on this biblical exposure. And I remember when I proposed this, and that was already in 1997. You were not even born then, it was a long time ago, so and in that room at the trade union, one of the largest trade unions in Sweden, in that room, it was a room like this, one of my most strong opponents were present. And this person, he said this: I usually never trust what Olle Johansson is saying, but this time he's so. Yeah.
And one thing we have to keep in mind is that a technical point of view from 1998 from the electronics and manufacturers. It's not like based on health effects.
No, not at all. And they have never claimed that,
and 6 minutes by 6 minutes.
Oh, that's a good point. And you probably have read that, that the public exposure standards in Barcelona, they are only valid if you buy a mobile phone, you make one single call, at most for 6 minutes, and never ever again. Is that the way human beings use mobile phones? They buy, use for 6 minutes and then throw it away and never buy a new one? Of course not. So the European Union Parliament is right. This has nothing to do with safety. It's just a technical issue, and it's used, these values, for antenna development in technical process industry. It has nothing to do with you or your children or your dogs or cats or goldfishes or tomato plants.
And a recommendation, yes.
It's just a recommendation. And so from a legal point of view,
the school of
yeah.
the guys say, no, this is a recommendation. I want my girl be wild. I don't want wildness in the school of my girl.
And especially not since the World Health Organization has cancer classified both the type of rays coming from a mobile phone and also because all the insurance companies have left the boat, the manufacturers, the operators and so on. They have completely abandoned ship. So why should they force parents to put children in this situation? And above all, the genotoxicity. I could wake up in nights suddenly like this and thinking, no, I must have dreamt this. Is it really genotoxic? The Nobel Prize in Chemistry this year is about genotoxicity as the most scary thing on the planet, No, we must be better than this. The mankind race must be better than this, We must say stop, And again, I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping that it's safe. But then a lot of papers must be corrected in the future, and that would be surprising in itself.
Well, I think there is a direct effect between smoking and health. Okay.
Could I just stop you for a second?
Yes.
Scientifically, the association between smoking and lung cancer is actually very weak.
Mm-hmm.
In the media, it sounds as if you buy a package of cigarettes, you get lung cancer. Scientifically, it's very weak, but it's strong enough to say this is not good for us. Mm-hmm. It's good for the tobacco companies, but it's not good for the general users, the consumers.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about the associations between healthy...
Very important.
Yeah.
I think that's the main point to change
policies. I think the shift has already been done, already 15 years ago, when the first news came forward that the insurance companies, they do not insure or reinsure for any health effects of electromagnetic fields. Then I remember I felt, oh yeah, we are already there. It will just take 20 or 200 years time for society to realize what they have already realized. And then slowly also the news came forward for the operators, the manufacturers, and then also the radiation protection boards were very early to leave ship, and also the World Health Organization. So
which are these direct correlation, like smoking with lung cancer?
Yeah, weak association, yes.
Yes, in electromagnetic fields, which are the direct effects, if you can tell us some? Like
if I would sort of rank them in some kind of way, people talk mostly about cancer, especially brain tumors, and that's the basis for the World Health Organization's cancer classification, of course. But there actually, if I would rank things, I would probably put them at the bottom. That's the least scary thing of them all, The most scary is the genotoxic effect, which in itself can explain the cancer issue, the immune system reaction alterations, and for me, of course, the most scary thing is the long-term effects on fertility. And just yesterday we talked about even a project that we could do here in Spain to look on male sperm cells, and as a replication that has been published several times already, and male sperm cells and female egg cells, they don't like mobile phones and tablets and so on, and that's scary because the effects are over generations, and it seems as if the effect in mice and other rodents will appear in 5 generations. If we translate that to people in Barcelona, they will not be able to get kids in about 150 years' time. And then it's a little bit too late to call back and say, hey, could you please stop that you are doing 2015 or even earlier? It's also, again, the editor, and now you have to remember, I'm sorry I'm a little bit long here, but it was published in a journal called Bioelectromagnetics. It's supposed to be the industry's journal. They own it through their editors and editorial boards and so on. And still they had to publish it. And I talked with the editor, and he revealed that this particular study I'm thinking about by Magras and Senos, it went through something that Nobel Prizes often go through. And you discover that 50 years later on when the archives open, namely a double referee process, meaning that when he got this manuscript, he sent it to the experts in the world, and they said, this is fine, you have to publish this. He got so very insecure. So he said, I need to send it to 5 more, And they also said, no, there's nothing wrong, this is perfect. It's extremely accurately done. And it tells you that in 5 generations' time, these mice will be infertile. I think in the meantime, it will already have grown supplementary methodology. So if we come back in 15 years' time, maybe these mobile phones are not any longer on the table. Maybe, yeah, maybe they're, not in pockets, no, right? And we communicate in another way, which we don't know. And speaking, yeah, maybe, yeah. But we could have mobile phones, but based on a completely other technique. And if I see in my crystal ball, it will be a Norwegian mobile phone, and based upon whatever technology, but it would have been sort of eased into the society while the others have gone away, and without any big drama, kind of. And maybe it will be even impossible to make any lawsuits or whatever.